name is Joe with Clean and Thankful Cleaning Services, LLC, servicing Kentucky and Indiana. Alright, so today I want to talk to you about, the title of the video is what's the price of VCT strip and wax here in Louisville, Kentucky, Southern Indiana area. Alright, we're Clean and Thankful Cleaning Services, LLC, and we're located here in Jeffersonville, Indiana. And I want to talk to you about that. You know, what is the price for VCT strip and wax? So you find this VCT strip and wax, you can find it in residential. You can also find it, mostly you find it in hospitals, in commercial settings. It's normally it's 12 by 12 squares, 12 inch by 12 inch squares, and it needs to be stripped and waxed every so often. So I'll also include a video of a VCT floor that we've done before and after. So I'll show you that, and then I'll keep on going with the video here. So. All right, so now you can see, what a VCT floor looks like. So now let's talk about what the price is for a VCT floor strip and wax. So what do I mean by a VCT floor strip and wax? So every so often you want to get your floors stripped and re-waxed. You don't have to do this all the time, but you do want to do it, once a year or something like that. Once every couple of years for sure. You'll see a lot of commercial places, they'll get it done and won't get it done for 10 years, and then it'll be horrible and they'll want to get it redone. You at least want to get a top scrub recoat, and I'll explain the top scrub recoat in the next couple of videos, but I'll give you a brief description of it now. And that is, a top scrub recoat is we take off the top layer or so, and then we reapply floor finish, and that removes any of the scratches. To top scrub it, it removes all the scratches and most of the scratches, unless they're really deep. If they're really deep, then you need to strip it all the way back down to the tile. So essentially what it is you've got this VCT floor here, and then you've got wax on top of it, and then when you strip and wax, when you strip it, you take off all that wax. Then you got a bare VCT floor, and then you put your layers back on it. It protects the VCT. You always want to have your VCT floors protected, and that's why you put the wax on there, is to protect it and to save your investment on your floors. So you want to do that, when you start seeing it looking bad. It's really bad. You'll find it really bad mostly in high traffic areas. If there's a lot of salt residue, like if we have a bad winter, there's a lot of salt residue, it's going to eat that wax. It's going to break that wax down. So you want to take care of that floor and get it either, you want to get it clean for one, and then if it looks, if you see the wax is failing, you want to get it stripped and waxed or top scrub recoated. If it's really failing, I would suggest a strip and wax, but sometimes you can get away with a top scrub recoat, which is cheaper. So what I want to explain to you here is, I hope that, I hope I explained this well. So I'm going to try my best here, so bear with me here. So in our company, what we do is we apply 4 coats of floor finish. If we come in, we strip your floor down all the way down to the tile, back down to the VCT floor, we apply 4 coats of floor finish. So sounds, if I do it and another company does it, then it's okay, right? Well, that's normally not the case. You want to make sure that every company is using the same wax. We have contacted, me personally, I have contacted Spartan Chemical, and they're not paying me to do this video. I'm just doing this video because I contacted them, and they say you want to try to get to that 100% solids. So if you're using a 25% solid, you want to put down 4 coats of floor finish when you strip a floor. So that's what we'll do. We'll use the 25% solids. We'll put down 4 coats. Gets to that 100%. So say you're using a um, say the next company, they're like, we do 4 coats, right? Or and you're like, okay, that's cool. But you also want to check with them and make sure that they're using a 25% solids, because that will affect the price. That could make your price go down, or they could keep it high and use a lower grade solids on your floor, and then you're not getting the same. You're not getting apples to apples. You're getting, that the cleaning company is making a higher profit margin, but they're using cheaper wax. Does that make? I hope that makes sense to you. So we can get a 5 gallon of. Normally, you can get a 5 gallon bucket of eye shine floor finish, about $110, give or take. So that's 5 gallons, and that'll cover about 2,000 square feet, give or take. Now the other, you can also get what they Johnson Diversey. You can get Versi Vectra floor finish. It's a 18% solids, but you can get it for $70 a pail for a 5 gallon pail. So, there's a little bit of a different. You start adding in. You got to have 20. Say you got to have 3 or 4 pails of this. Then you start talking into your it's 30, 60. Say you have to have 3 pails. That's 30, 60, 90. That's almost $100 cheaper. But if the company still says, we put 4 coats, you're still getting that 4 coats. You're just not getting the solids that you would with us. And we'll always use the high solids. You can always check on our jobs. Hey, Joe, what solids, what floor finish are you using? And I'll let you know. And if you want to get it buffed more often, you're like, hey Joe, we're gonna go through and we're gonna clean this, keep it clean, keep it buffed, maintain our floor. Then we may recommend you go with a Vetra floor with a softer floor finish, not as much solids. So, so we'll do that, and it will be a cheaper price. But we don't want to. Me personally, I don't want to go through and give you try to save you money if you do a strip and wax, because in the end you're not going to be happy with the product. I'm not going to be happy with the product, and then that gives a bad name for my company. So that's why I use a high percent solids. I don't want to cheap out. I don't want to be cheap on it. I want to go. I want to give you the best quality, the best service that I can give you. And we're always trying to improve, our quality of VCT floor, strip and wax, any of our services, janitorial services, carpet cleaning, it don't matter. We always try to give that great customer service and the great VCT strip and wax. We want you to be happy with it for years to come. It's some things that you want to make sure that you do. We've covered. Look out for the floor finish. Ask them what floor finish they're using. Also, what determines the price is how much wax is on the floor. Did that other company? You'll see this a lot in the schools. Mostly, you'll see it a lot in schools. They'll come through and they'll top scrub recoat for 5, 6, 7 years, and there's so much wax on that floor, and it just takes so long to get it off. I have been into a situation where we have had to put down a stripper and take a shovel and shovel off the wax. It was that thick. But to answer your question about it, what's the price here in Southern Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky area? And further up into Indiana and further down in Kentucky, you're talking. Normally, the price will range between 56 cents a square foot to $1.50 a square foot, somewhere through there. And you're like, that's a big gap between the two. Some companies, they'll charge that. It's according to how much wax is on your floor, how big of an area you got, how dirty is the floor. And you can go on our YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook here, you can go to our YouTube channel. You can check us out. We're on at Clean and Thankful Cleaning Services LLC. You can just search it up on YouTube, find it. You can see some of the VCT floors that we've stripped and waxed. And that's what we try our best. Like I said, we do our best, to do, everything that we need to do to get that floor looking its best for you. Also, something else you want to consider is, is the company that you're hiring, are they going to scrape the edges? And go back and watch some of the YouTube videos on YouTube. Watch some of the videos, of companies stripping and waxing a floor. And see some of the process. We do include in some of our videos, we show you the whole process. Some of them we show, some of the process. Some we show before and after. But go there and look. You can tell that we have a good reputation of our VCT floors. Stripping and waxing them, getting it all the way down to the bare tile. Another thing to consider. If it's got silver on the floor, then it's gonna affect the price. It's gonna make the price go up, because floor silver is not easy to get off the floor. So it's not easy at all to get off the floor. So you could spend more money on that. And you always want to be, when you have a contractor come out, just be honest with them. If you put, if you've had, you don't know what's on the floor, be like, hey, we don't know what's on the floor, how long it's been, how, all that. And let them do a test spot sometimes if they need to. Sometimes we'll do a test spot, and let you know, hey, this is, and if I see the floor that's really bad, I'll let you know, hey, we need to do a test spot here to let you know, hey, we can get most of this up, but I want to test it to let you know that, so you can be like, okay, it's, we're just gonna, if we do a test, if I do a test for you, then that'll give you, I want to set the expectation for you, that, so hey, this floor is going to look good after it gets stripped and re-waxed. Also, another thing that will affect the price is it on a wood subfloor? A wood subfloor, VCT, when you go to strip it, you've got to flood out the floor, and what they call flood out the floor. So you've got to put down quite a bit of floor stripper on the floor and let it set for 15-20 minutes. Scrub it. And if it's on a wood subfloor, it goes through your tile onto your wood subfloor. And then when you step on it, it smushes that water that we put down on the floor, smushes it out. So sometimes, if it's on a wood subfloor, you're going to have to wait till the next day. Put fans on it the night after you got through. If the night after you get through stripping it, you're going to want to put fans out and let it dry, and then come back the next day and wax it. If it's on a wood subfloor, mainly on concrete, you don't have to do all that, because it won't go, it won't stay there for some reason. I guess because it's a harder subfloor. So if you're on a slab, you really don't have to worry about it. But if you're on a wood subfloor, that could affect the price, because it's going through there. And you also want to, every company, if they do a VCT floor on a wood subfloor, you want to make sure that's dry, because if it's not dry, when they start putting down finish, and once you let it dry out good enough, you put down so little of finish, it won't seep up through there like that, and it'll seal it all up, and you'll be good to go. But if they don't dry it out good before they put down the first coat of floor finish, when they step on it as they're walking to wax it, then floor finish, whatever you want to call it, then that water will seep up. Your wax will be here, and that water will seep up, and it'll be right there, and it'll make your floor finish look cloudy. That's because it's got moisture underneath it. So that's something to consider. But like I said, it ranges between 56 cents a square foot all the way up to, I've heard of some companies do $1.50 a square foot around here. And it's, it can be quite expensive. Some people don't want to do it. It's just so labor intensive. They don't want to do it. It's, you can get into, we've been on some jobs. I've been on a 800 square foot job before, and it should have only took us, one day, and it's took us probably 2 days to do this job, because it had floor sealer on the floor, and you won't know that until you get into the floor. So I hope this helps you in the next time that you're looking for a company to do your VCT floors. I hope this helps you. even if you don't go with us here at Clean and Thankful Cleaning Services LLC, I hope this helps you, helps educate you to be like, hey, you know what, you know, and you can make your own judgment and be like, you know, this is a good company to go with. You know, this is a good company. You know, compare us all. You know, if we're coming out and giving you a bid, you know, compare us and see, you know, if that's we're all using the same products or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And ask them, you know, you're going to go all the way down to the tile. You know, because some companies, unfortunately, some companies, they will tell you, they will charge you for a strip and wax, and I've seen it here in the Louisville, Kentucky, Southern Indiana area, that they'll go through and they'll top scrub it off and recoat it because it don't look bad, but they'll charge you for a strip. Just in general, a top scrub recoat should only be about 45 to 55 cents a square foot. That's on the high end. So always keep that in mind as well. So my name is Joe with Clean and Thankful Cleaning Services. I hope this helps you out when you go to hire your next company to do your VCT floors. And remember, if you want us to come out and give you a quote, you know, you can always give us a call here at Clean and Thankful Cleaning Services LLC at 502-403-3526. And I appreciate you watching the video. I hope this helps you out next time you're looking for to get your VCT floors stripped and waxed. I hope this helps you. And once again, just remember, you know, when you do get a VCT strip and wax, it's going to take your floor all the way down to the bare tile, and then you're going to build it back up. There may be a patch here, there, and yonder of wax that won't come out, or the tile's been beat up. But mostly, you can get most of that out. Most of the wax off the floor. You may have to go over it a couple times, but you should get it. You know, whatever company you hire should be able to get all that wax off the floor and do the edges as well. And that's another factor. You know, if it's, you know, if you want your Kobe stripped, take that wax off of it because your last cleaner has put wax on there. You know that gets pretty expensive. But I hope this helps you. Remember, if you're looking for a cleaning service, give us a call here at Clean and Thankful Cleaning Services LLC at 502-403-3526. Again, my name is Joe. I'm the owner here at Clean and Thankful Cleaning Services. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.